the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Members discover armed cache of NPA in Apayao-Cagayan border. AFP chief declares first Philippine-India joint patrol in West Philippine Sea a success. COMELEC to continue preparations amid possible BSKE postponement. Flood control projects funding trimmed by 72 billion pesos.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Tuesday, August 5, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Ralph Susan Abay here to bring you today's story.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, Citizen Armed Forces Geographical Unit active auxiliary members led by Assistant Patrol Base Commander Romel Dansalan, discovered a new People's Army armed cache during a security patrol near the Santa Elena Claveria boundary Apayao-Cagayan border. Acting on a civilian tip, the team recovered one M16 rifle with a grenade launcher and a magazine hidden in the area. The cache was safely transported to Santa Elena Patrol Base for proper documentation and disposition. The unit commended the CAA's vigilance and the community's support in maintaining local security.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Armed Forces Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. declared the first joint sail patrol with the Indian Navy in the West Philippine Sea a success. He said the activity achieved its objective smoothly, with the untoward incidents reported during the operation. While Chinese vessels shadowed the patrol, the AFP anticipated their presence and remained focused on the mission. General Browner credited the patrol's success to strengthen defense ties following his visit to India, expressing hope for more joint activities ahead.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Kath about AFP Chief joins standoff for PBBM's India visit.
Yes, Rolf, good noon. The Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff General Romeo S. Browner Jr. joined military and civilian officials in a send-off ceremony for President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at Villamor Air Base, Pasay City yesterday. The President departed for New Delhi to strengthen bilateral relations, enhance economic ties, and boost defense cooperation with India. General Browner expressed the AFP's full support for the President's diplomatic mission. The AFP reaffirmed its commitment in advancing national interest on the global stage. This is Kat reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Kath.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The 6th Infantry Division has launched a thorough investigation into the death of enlisted personnel who collapsed during a traditional reception activity at the headquarters of the 6th Infantry Battalion. Initial medical reports suggest kidney failure of Private Charlie Patigayon, but the command aims to determine the full circumstances and identify any possible violations or accountability. The 6th ID emphasized that all reception rights must comply with military policies and prioritize the safety of personnel. If any breach is found, the command vowed to take disciplinary action in line with military justice and applicable laws.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Marine Corps announced that all its personnel will now undergo special operations training as part of its modernization efforts. PMC Commandant Major General Vicente Blanco III said the program will expand advanced skills training once exclusive to elite units to all Marines. Training will include small unit tactics, amphibious operations, and in interagency missions with other elite forces. He also emphasized that the move aims to strengthen the entire force's readiness for both conventional and high-risk missions without compromising the morale or core capabilities.
Armed Forces Radio.
Some information from GEO about 12 Cebu Battalion troops helped the distribution of 365 relief packs to Tondo residents.
Yes, ROF troops from the 12th Civil Military Operations Battalion assisted in loading and distributing 365 relief packs to residents of Isla Puting Bato, Tondo, Manila. The effort under the National Capital Region Command of the Armed Forces of the Philippines was part of an ongoing collaboration between the military and private sector. Relief goods came from motor trade branches in Antipolo City and Binangonan, Rizal. The activity aimed to support vulnerable communities through joint humanitarian efforts. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
35 reservists from Alpha Company 1406 Community Defense Center completed a 2-day field training exercise in marksmanship familiarization in Cagayan. Led by 1st Lieutenant January Joy Lacuesta Reserve and supported by the 17th Infantry Battalion, the training aimed to boost reservists' operational readiness and tactical skills. Participants engaged in simulated combat scenarios to enhance the coordination, communication, and combat preparedness. The Philippine Army emphasized the exercise as a testament to strong collaboration between regular and reserve forces in strengthening the national defense.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Commission on Elections will continue preparing for the barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections, despite the scheduled signing of the law postponing it to November 2026. COMELEC Chairperson George Erwin Garcia said that no funds have been spent yet, as ballots have not been printed. He assured the public that all materials are on standby and ready for delivery if needed. Garcia also emphasized that the materials remain usable for future elections.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Shaina. About 61st IB distributes 250 food packs to typhoon-hit Iloilo villages.
Yes, Ruff. The 61st Infantry Battalion delivered 250 food packs to residents of 5 typhoon-affected barangays in Tigbauan, Iloilo. The relief effort supported families in barangays 8, Tanpael 9, and Bauyan. Stakeholders Maricar Apple Clark helped mobilize resources and coordinate distribution with barangay leaders. Local officials thanked the Army of its swift humanitarian response and strong partnership during the crisis recovery. This is Shaina Araneta reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shaina.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Budget and Management reduced the proposed 2026 flood control budget to 274.9 billion pesos from 346.6 billion pesos. DBM Secretary Amena Pangandaman said the budget is still under review and may increase if projects are well planned and clearly identified. After inspecting the flood-affected Apalit Macabebe Road in Pampanga, she handed the full list of projects to Public Works Secretary Manuel Bonoan. Pangandaman also ordered a fund realignment from completed projects to repair the said road.
DWDD National News.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government clarified that the Bureau of Fire Protection's 1.45 billion pesos fund for its emergency response system remains untouched and was not reallocated to the National 911 program. DILG Undersecretary Rolando Puno said the project is solely procured and implemented by the BFP under its mandate in Republic Act 11589. He stressed there was no fund transfer and the initiative is part of BFP's modernization program. The system is separate from the National 911 infrastructure and focuses on local emergency coordination.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Glenn Gultian about DND confirms airlift of over 4,800 relief packs to Batanes with U.S. support.
Yes, Rolf, the Department of National Defense confirmed that more than 4,800 family food packs were successfully delivered to the Batanes group of islands through airlift support from the United States military. The operation used MV-22 Osprey's aircraft under the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command as part of joint humanitarian response efforts. The relief goods, part of the 6,300 packs allocated by the Department of Social Welfare and Development, were intended for communities hit by typhoons and southwest monsoon rains. The DND emphasized the strong Philippine-United States partnership in disaster response and reaffirmed its commitment in ensuring aid reaches remote and vulnerable areas. This is Glenn Gultian reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Glenn Gultian.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for our announcement, attention to all mothers, families, and advocates of maternal health. You're invited to Beginnings and Beyond the Mother-Baby Dialogue Series 5 with the theme Happy Mommy, Happy Baby, Nurturing the Mental Health of Breastfeeding Mothers. Happening tomorrow, August 6, Wednesday from 2:30 to 5 in the afternoon via Zoom and Facebook Live on the Philippine Society of Newborn Medicine's page. Hear the powerful stories from two amazing guests, Technical Surgeon Patricia Villarojo of the Philippine Air Force and Hospital Corpsman Second Class Vicky Marie Rushton Abalos of the Philippine Navy Reserve, both proud mothers and breastfeeding advocates. Let us support our breastfeeding moms and remind them that they are never alone, and mark your calendars and tune in.
DWDD National News.
And for other national news, the Senator Bongo reiterated his call for the creation of the Department of Disaster Resilience to synchronize the National Disaster Management System. This was after the senator aided storm victims in Bungabog Oriental, Mindoro, where 500 residents from 6 different barangays received aid aimed to help them cope with the impacts brought by the recent tropical cyclones intensified by monsoon rains. In a statement, GO emphasized the need for a legislative action that would place all agencies tasked with disaster management under one department to avoid fragmentation and delays in relief delivery. Meanwhile, the senator refiled the Senate Bill 173 that proposes a Department of Disaster Resilience that would centralize the disaster response and recovery efforts.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, Senator Bongo affirmed his long-standing commitment in advancing policies that safeguard the welfare, education, and holistic development of young Filipinos. As chair of the Committees on Health, Support or Sports, and on Youth, he emphasized the role of legislation, programs, and sustained public service in ensuring that the country's future leaders are provided with the tools they need to succeed. One of the senator's efforts for the 2025 budget included the substantial support for the Assistance to Youth Individuals and Organizations program. Meanwhile, the senator believes that the youth should be guided, supported, and given the opportunity to reach their dreams.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Leonor. AFP commemorates IHL Day 2025.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines, led by Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr., commemorated International Humanitarian Law Day 2025 with a flag-raising ceremony at Camp Emilio Ginaldo, Quezon City yesterday. General Browner reaffirmed the AFP's commitment in upholding IHL principles and protecting human dignity in all military operations. The AFP Peacekeeping Operations Center also received recertification under the AFP Transformation Roadmap, while the AFP Lady Gunners were honored for donating their 300,000 prize to support military education. The event reflected the AFP's dedication to peace, professionalism, and humanitarian values beyond the battlefield. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for AFP Community News, 1FP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
Department of Education Secretary Sonny Angara signed the revised implementing rules and regulations of the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013 to bolster school accountability and preventive measures. The revised IRR mandates all public and private basic education institutions to adopt a standard anti-bullying policy. Angara emphasized that DepEd will monitor child protection committees and provide technical support to ensure effectiveness. The revisions aim to ensure all complaints are addressed promptly and fairly.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced the Philippines and India are set to elevate their bilateral relations to a strategic partnership. The announcement was made during a meeting with the Filipino Committee and Taj Mahal Hotel in New Delhi, India. According to the president, the strategic partnership will further intensify and become even more impactful in many areas that had not explored with India before, including the defense, trade and investment, health and tourism. Meanwhile, the launching of the upgraded partnership would be held today during the president's bilateral meeting with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Armed Forces Radio.
More of this from Mel Joy of First CRG about NOLCOM joins nationwide flag raising ceremony in observance to IHL month.
Yes, Rolf, the Northern Luzon Command Armed Forces of the Philippines marked the start of International Humanitarian Law Month, which is officially celebrated every 12th of August with a flag-raising ceremony at Camp Aquino, San Miguel, Tarlac. The ceremony was highlighted by the reading of the message from the Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines, delivered by the Commander of Northern Luzon Command, Lieutenant General Fernil G. Buca, Philippine Air Force. Troopers and civilian personnel of Northern Luzon Command and Camp Aquino tenant units, together with the 135 new lieutenants, recited the Pledge of Reaffirmation, showing commitment to humanity, neutrality, impartiality, and independence. Moreover, Commander Northern Luzon Command echoed the command's dedication to international humanitarian law as a jointly engaged, sustainment-maintained, and readiness-trained force. This commemoration serves as a reminder that the role of the armed forces of the Philippines extends beyond defending national sovereignty. It includes the protection of life and the preservation of human rights, even amidst the challenges of armed conflict. This is Meljo Nesho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Moljoy for CRG.
DWDD National News.
Department of Tourism Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco eyes the greater opportunities for the Philippines and India as she joined President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and fellow cabinet members in New Delhi for a state visit to India. The visit emphasizes a significant milestone in the 75th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the Philippines and India. According to Frasco, the Department of Tourism has placed strategic focus on the Indian market, recognizing its vast potential from enhancing connectivity and visa facilitation to promoting travel experiences for Indian tourists. Meanwhile, the DOT chief is set to hold a series of high-level meetings with the Indian stakeholders in business, aviation, tourism, and entertainment.
DWDD National News.
Department of Health Secretary Teodoro Herbosa announced that DOH and government-owned and controlled corporation hospitals in Metro Manila are on standby to receive patients from the Philippine General Hospital. This came after PGH confirmed its emergency room has exceeded 400% capacity. Hospitals such as the East Avenue Medical Center and Rizal Medical Center and Jose Reyes Memorial Medical Center are among those ready to assist. The move aims to ease congestion and ensure continued delivery of quality medical services.
Armed Forces Radio.
From 7 CRG, let us hear from Marie about 7 CRG CMO team delivers food assistance to Sitio Ulingan community.
Yes, good morning. In a joint effort to uplift communities and address food insecurity, the National Capital Region Command, through the 7th Civil Relations Group CMO team, in collaboration with Task Unit Malabon led by 2nd Lieutenant Shane L. Arcilia Infantry Philippine Army, Platoon Leader of 85th Infantry Sandiwa Battalion, and the AFP Civil Military Operations Schools SCMO and COC Team 1, led by Sergeant Jake B. Salvador Infantry Philippine Army, conducted a feeding program for residents of Sitio Ulingan, Barangay Catmon, Malabon City. A total of 50 beneficiaries comprising children and families from the local community received warm servings of porridge during the outreach. The activity aimed to provide immediate nutritional support and foster solidarity with residents facing challenging living conditions. This outreach reflects the unwavering commitment to promoting social welfare and supporting vulnerable sectors of the community. By addressing immediate needs such as hunger, the programs helps cultivate a more compassionate and resilient society. This is J. Owen Minor reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Maria of 7 CRG.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine National Police is eyeing to procure non-lethal weapons for responding officers to prevent deadly encounters with suspects. Following the August 1 incident in Pavia, Iloilo, where a police officer fatally shot a man who was running amok while wielding a knife, PNP Chief General Nicolas Torres III said among the non-lethal weapons being considered are plastic batons, pepper spray, and tasers. According to Torres, the said matter is still under deep study and consideration. Meanwhile, the PNP chief earlier issued a directive for police officers to prioritize non-deadly means of responding to criminal incidents.
DWDD Armed Forces
And that
News.
concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, the DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Ralph Susan Abay here for Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.